And in 2019, there was a coup attempt, and based on what I have read, it seems like he was very close to losing power. And on this channel, we follow Russia, China a lot. We've been following the Russian invasion. And maybe I'm incorrect and you can correct me, but Putin played a big role in keeping Maduro in power in 2019. If you know anything about that, could you share that with the audience?
Yes, 100%. So Russia is, it's funny because leftists and even some people on the right are very against U.S. intervention, whatever that means, because it could mean different things at the same time, depending on who is criticizing or supporting that statement. They always say, leave Venezuela alone. The US is always intervening on these countries, but they never talk about Chinese intervention. They never talk about Russian intervention, which is, of course, for the nature that those regimes have, very dangerous, not just for South America, not just for countries like Venezuela, but even for the US. Imagine how dangerous it is for the US to have a country that is a dictatorship, that is a narco state, and that has Russian intelligence just 3,000 miles away from Florida, just in your backyard. So, yes, Russia is deeply involved in Venezuela. Iran is as well. China is as well. So, enemies of the United States are collaborating with the Maduro regime. In what way? At least with Russia. Well, Russian companies have invested in Venezuela and oil. Venezuela has received military equipment from Russia. Venezuela has received Russian intelligence and strategic intelligence over the last 2 decades. So we're talking about an actual intervention from Russia in Venezuela that, of course, has bad intentions. Just in May this year, May 2025, Russia and Venezuela signed a partnership contract. So it's more important than ever, especially for the conflict that we have in Eastern Europe, for the US to understand that this is our area of influence. And the US shouldn't allow Russia to intervene in Venezuela and to have the power and control that they currently have. And it's not just Russia, as I mentioned, it's also China, for example. China has lent to Venezuela over $60 billion over the last years, and money that Venezuela gives back to China, not through cash or actual money, but to oil. To imagine how important it is, Venezuela to Russia. So if we want the US to be stronger, if we actually believe in Western values, if we understand that even though we don't have a perfect system or a perfect government, we are way better than the system that Russia has, or what China promotes, it is important also for us to understand that we should dominate this area, this region. And for those who are listening to me that right now would probably accuse me of being a neocon or that I've been asking for US intervention, I think it's in the US interest, not from a perspective of self-sacrifice, to find a solution in Venezuela. If you want a safer United States of America, if you want a safer Western Hemisphere, of course you need to try to neutralize a regime that is a narco state and that is collaborating with your biggest enemies.